freaking terrorist. No one utilizes vultures like Fantasy. But there's the Nexus coming up again for Grape. Can't believe he lost that earlier. No, he tried his best. He gave it his all. The mines really kept him away and kept him from retaking that base, I think, as it was being picked at by Fantasy. But okay, Fantasy has 3 tanks at the natural expansion, couple of Marines just kind of standing around. Not enough to really pick off that observer, so even if Fantasy saw that and had the scouting, but okay, here comes the vultures laying more mines, but with the observer in, this will make it much easier for Grape. Still some mines being dragged, the observer not in the main yet for him, so Fantasy going straight for the probes. Laying as many more mines as he can before the vulture goes down. Vulture, I think, finally going to go down. Well, maybe not. Vulture, oh, great, another mine drags. So that vulture did its duty. Well done, vulture pilot. Okay, Fantasy looking a little bored, actually. He's like, I thought this would be a little bit more difficult. But he has his second base up. And he's building a hidden base at the 2 o'clock position. I was just talking about this yesterday, how hidden bases are so Fantasy. And now he's going to build one at the 2 o'clock. Moving down with dropship play 2. There's an observer in the area. Might have actually seen that dropship that time. As it was streaking across, its line of vision might have spotted this, barely. But it's going to be pretty close, I think. Alright. Fantasy preparing for another drop, getting ready to do that. The second base now up and mining for Grape, so he has a second base rolling. Now, going to be able to compete economically with Fantasy as long as he scouts that super hidden base at the 2 o'clock. Alrighty here. 2 o'clock base just now plopping down for Fantasy. And I think there's actually an observer going up to that position. There's something flying up there for Grape, and I think he's going to be able to scout that base. Yeah, I'm looking up at the map. The observers aren't looking at for some reason, but the robotic support bay on the way for Grape. And I think that Grape, it's Grape going to scout this 2 o'clock base coming up. That's going to give him some good information, but I'm not sure how much he's going to be able to do about it right now. He's going to have to play on the defensive for a second. Well, more than a second. Probably a few minutes here. He has the Dragoons positioned to intercept another drop. Going to try to get up on that this time and maybe pick off a dropship. That would definitely give him some more breathing room and allow him to move out, take out that hidden base at the 2 o'clock position. Okay, robotic support. We're going to have Reavers on the way soon for Grape. He hasn't built a second assimilator yet, so yeah, he's really stretching his gas thin. You want to take that second assimilator if you're getting Reavers. That's for sure. But the engineering bay being built by Fantasy, coming in with a ton of vultures, just surrounding everything with vultures. You're going to have to get some excellent Dragoon micro. The Dragoon being sacrificed to drag a mine, but it didn't drag enough to really make it worth it, I think. No Fantasy coming in, keeping on the minefield. Got the tanks in the back, 2 siege tanks in the back. All he needs, it seems. Yep, without Zealots to drag the mines, Dragoons are not very good mine draggers. They just don't get enough splash on the tanks. You see, one of those tanks got splashed by that, but it's actually pretty rare that Dragoons can get a successful mine drag. So you usually want Zealots, because they're much smaller. You can really get the mines in there and take out the tanks. But luckily for Grape, he did clean it up after losing a lot of Dragoons, though, so that's going to put his attack at the 2 o'clock even further behind. But he does have the robotics facility, so he should have his shuttle out soon if it isn't out already. With the Reavers, he has the Reaver, pump the Reaver. First the mine, going to drag it to the Reaver. Mine, oh, it did splash the Reaver. I thought for sure that the Scarab would be able to pick that off first. But, it wasn't to be. Here comes a shuttle. Whoa! Shuttle doing absolutely nothing. I guess running into the turrets. Gets a bit scared. Gets spooked. And flies off for now. You wuss shuttle. Not getting anything done. The Observer flying between the perfectly positioned turrets for Fantasy. Yeah, those are absolutely perfectly positioned. Fantasy. But okay, the shuttle going out again. Going to try to commit this time. Shuttle last time is like, oh no, got scared, ran away. But 2 shuttles now for Grape. This will help him out a lot. He can send one to the 2 o'clock because there's not much that Fantasy can do to protect that now, especially against Reavers. All he can do is lift and try to transfer back with his SCVs, but Grape could definitely catch a bunch of SCVs with a Scarab or something if he heads up to that position with Reavers. But here comes 2 speedy shuttles making their way up, being scouted immediately by Fantasy. So he's just chasing these up to the 2 o'clock position. And I wonder if Grape will actually commit. Yeah, he's going to commit. And moving up with the shuttles. Both shuttles in this attack. So this could actually get rid of the 2 o'clock position. Yeah, coming in with Reavers. And the Dragoons will be to snipe the command center if it's lifted. But no, Fantasy is trying to kill everything with what he has coming in with the dropship and some Goliaths to pick off the shuttles. One of those shuttles very close to being taken down in the red. So, man, Grape's got to get out of there. Can't dilly-dally at that 2 o'clock. Not with Fantasy's micro, because Fantasy is still chasing down these shuttles with the dropship. Not sure if he has anything in that dropship. Hopefully he has a Goliath or something so we can see some epic micro or something. It does have Goliath in the dropship, doing his best to pick up the Goliaths before they get taken down by Scarabs. But the dropship goes down, and the Reavers kill the Goliaths on the ground. So Grape did take that engagement. But now Fantasy's going to reveal his tanks as a big tank army. He's going to move out into the middle of the map a bit. I'd probably move over to protect his 2 o'clock base, or go for the counterattack. Let's see where those tanks go once he sees that his 2 o'clock position is in danger. He's already headed down to the 8 o'clock, so he might just commit to that instead of protecting his 2 o'clock base. He's already gotten the economic boon from that base. He's gotten the advantage from it. So he decides, yeah, I'm just going to push the front. Nothing I can do about that 2 o'clock base. Can't even float it over with the Dragoons that are attacking it. So Fantasy's got to do this now. His 3rd base went down, and he's got to make use of that, what the 3rd base gave him with this big attack. If he doesn't follow through with this big attack, it could spell doom for his game. With that 6 o'clock position coming down for Grape. Grape's going to have his 3rd base, but here comes Fantasy. He's crawling in with all of his tanks. And it's going to be so hard to attack without the Zealot bombs. Yeah, this is a mostly Dragoon army, which is kind of the Khan's signature, Samsung Khan's signature for Protoss players. But you need some Zealots to drop on the tanks. There's a Science Vessel in, 2 EMP. Oh my god. So the 2nd Nexus goes down, and Fantasy just doom crawling his way to the main. There is Shuttle trying to get something done, doesn't get much done at all. The Observer chasing down the rest of the army so that Grape can keep an eye on it, but he's hiding his probes, sending his probes out to take the hits while he comes in with Zealots. Finally, Zealots coming in, not speed upgraded. Oh, the Reaver goes down. GG from Grape. So, okay, another round of tiebreakers for Group B. Let's head on to Group Z now.